we gonna get greasy.
Oh, I'm so awkward.
So this is my friend Harry's 1976 BMW 2002. It's just here to do the front wheel bearings, which I'm going to show you how to do. Harry's getting ready to sell this car, so if you're interested, I'm going to put his email and contact information both in the video and down in the description, so you can get a hold of him and, you know, see if it's something you want to buy. It does currently have a 4-speed in it. I know that he has a basically bolt-in 5-speed swap kit to go with the car, so definitely check that out. Let's get started. All right, so first step is getting the wheel off. I know that these are not the factory wheels, so I don't know if they're the factory lug nuts or not, but if they are a 12 millimeter Allen socket. So we're gonna zip these off. Okay, so let me actually get you in here for this bit. So we've got the caliper here, and on the back here, and another one down here, there are two 19 millimeter bolts. We're gonna undo those, but also we want to take this guy out because that will allow this entire bracket with the hard lines and the soft lines to come out and flex the caliper out of the way to get back there. So I'm going to undo this guy first, and then we'll do those 19 mils back there, and we'll get this out of the way. Brackets coming off with it. Gives you some room to flex it over there and get it out of the way. So, I've got to get this cap off. Rotate that a little bit. There should be a cotter pin in here somewhere. Axle nuts off. There is going to be a little spacer in here, like a washer. This guy that goes on after the outer bearing. So we're going to clean that up, reuse that. This is going to get replaced. Well, the next step was going to be getting the wheel seal out of the drum so that you can remove the rear or the inner wheel bearing, but it stayed here on the spindle. So because I already did the other side, I can't show you how to do this, but normally this will just pry out with like a flathead or a seal puller or what have you, and then you can get the other bearing out. So now we've got to get these inner races out, or the bearing races out rather. Now on both sides of this hub, there are actually slots on two sides of the bearing, or on the race rather, that allow you to get a punch in there to tap the thing out. Sometimes you got to get in there with your booger hooks and get the grease away so that you actually have access to it. So as it is right now, I am going to have to probably wait until I get one of them out so I can show you what I'm talking about. Let me do that and get a little bit of the shmoo out of here. And sometimes what you can do is just kind of fish around. You'll feel an edge, you know, like that guy right there. And you just take a hammer and then go to the other side, find that, and go back, and you kind of do a little back and forth here until until it pops out. Right in there. So there's a cut here, and there's one directly across from that that allows you to tap this down. And there's going to be one on this, but we have to do this one from the other side. So I'm going to flip this over and get this guy out, and then I'll show you how to put the new ones in. Something cool about the BMWs is these hubs actually are detachable from the rotor. So if you're replacing the rotor, you take those 4 bolts out, and this entire hub hat and center section here will come out of the rotor, and then you put a new rotor in with all your new bearings. We're not doing that because these rotors are fine. So I'm going to continue on. Okay, so we're going to install the races now, and you can see, maybe you can't, well, you see how it's wide on this side and not on the other. So there's a taper on here going in because this is a tapered roller bearing, and this needs an angled surface to ride on. Okay, so when you put these bearings in, you want the widest point of the taper facing out towards you. It's a great idea to invest in a bearing race press or punch. So it's just a little aluminum piece with these, it comes with different size caps, and the tapered side goes into the cup, and then you just hammer it into place. Now you can see there's, you know, a little bit of play here. That's good. I have gotten a few of these, depending on the quality of these kits, stuck in these holes. So before, even though it looks good here, I always put it on the rod and just go in and out and make sure it doesn't get snagged on anything so that I can get it out when it's done. And then you can actually flip this around, and you can use this side to put the seal in nice and even. So we'll be doing that shortly. But first thing, I have to get this in. Also, you should check to make sure that your surface in here that this is going to ride against is nice and smooth. This won't rotate, but you still want it to go down easily without obstruction. Get that in nice like that. Get your tapered side in. And then you go get your favorite Tanya Harding, and you beat the snot out of it. Once you hear that tone change, like it hit something, it's because it did. So now that that's good, I'm going to get a fresh pot of grease here, and we'll pack the bearing and get that in and install lay seal. Okay, so I like using the red tacky stuff, the cranberry sauce. I'm right-handed, so I'll usually take a glob of that in my left hand, and then on the wide part of the bearing like that, you push it down against the grease. You keep going until it starts to come out of the top like that. You really want it coming out of there, and you're just going to work it in all the way around. They do make these fancy tools that you load up with grease, and then you just plop it down and push it in with a little handle, and it feeds it in nice and even. Unfortunately, I lost that, and I haven't been bothered to go get another one. So I'm going to just do it the old-fashioned way here, because people have been doing it that way for ages. And I like to put, you know, a nice thick layer around the outside, and just plop it in there. And then I'll scrape as much of the extra off as I can, and leave it right inside there. With the bearing all set, well, I can put the seal in, but I do need a wider, or at least I like to use a wider, wider cup here to get it seated. So I just got to switch these around and get the flat side down like that. Now your seal typically goes with the closed side face out, because the other side looks like that, and this is what the spindle rides against, like that. So you're going to put that in thusly, nice and centered and as flat as you can. And then it is very much the same as putting the race in. You just get your little cup on and your favorite Tanya Harding, try to get it as flush as you can, and that's all she wrote. So now I'm going to flip this over and do the other side, the outer bearing, And that process is exactly the same. There's just no seal that goes on the thing. So let me do the other side, and then we'll get this back on the car. All right, so the reinstallation process is very much the same as the disassembly process, just backwards. I'm going to clean Harry's dirty shaft here, this thick, filthy shaft, and re-grease it. So now, I'm just going to slide that back on. Make sure she seats good all the way back. Nice. Gotta get your washer, and there's a slot, I think it's face down. There you go. And that'll go on. You get your nut. No crazy reverse thread anything with these as far as I can tell. They both came off normally. And I like to find a nice sweet spot, a little bit of preload and lining up the castle nut for the new cotter pin. Push that down. Get a little bit of a piece off of that. And beamed. And a little beamed. And I usually get a pair of channel locks here and just kind of bend it up like that. And bonk that back on. And then apply any tool as a hammer. And then you're done. So, well, not really. I've got to get. I'm going to get the caliper back on again. Same reverse as. English is hard. Reverse process of taking everything apart, and then we'll get the wheels back on, torque them, and go for a ride. Don't forget to torquelize your wheels. Well, thank you very much for watching. That was pretty easy and very clearly pulled that out of my ass because I didn't have anything else to go up on Friday. So I'm going to take this for a test drive and get some beauty shots of this to go at the beginning of the video. And then I think I might take it to a Cars and Coffee this Sunday, maybe. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like, leave a comment, share with your friends. And we'll see you at the next one. I am expecting engine parts for something to come in, so that'll be fun. Okay. Bye-bye. No, that's not. Is it this way? Yes.